Welcome, my friends, to a new episode of CELTA Insider. And in this episode, we're going to talk about explanation versus guided discovery versus self-directed discovery. So let's start with explanation. And explanation, as the word tells, it's to explain something. It is direct. But also it doesn't take much time. Why? Because it is direct. Direct things don't take much time. And when I say also it's direct, this means that sometimes it's boring. It's because students don't have to think, because you're just telling them, and they're not interested. So this style has advantages and disadvantages. And we're not saying that explanation is evil, but it is notorious because of how many people use explanation. They overuse it, and sometimes they use it when they are supposed to use other styles of presenting language. So let me give you an example of explanation using two vocabulary items: irritable and nervous. Okay, so switch off as teachers, your students now. Let's do this. Okay, so we've got two words to talk about, my friends. We've got the word nervous and the word irritable. And there is a big difference between these two words. Actually, nervous means someone who cannot relax, someone who is worried or afraid. So you feel actually nervous at the dentist, and you might feel nervous because you have an exam. That's when you feel nervous. Now, listen to the pronunciation: nervous, nervous, nervous. Repeat after me. Good. Okay. Nice. Now this is how we write it. And actually the stress goes here. And of course it is an adjective. Lovely. Now let's move to irritable. Now irritable is different, because irritable is about someone who gets angry quickly, someone who gets annoyed quickly. So irritable is a kind of a negative adjective. It's not something nice. And also it's difficult to deal with irritable people because they can get angry quickly. Now this is how we write irritable. So look at the spelling. And actually the stress goes here. And of course it's an adjective. Lovely. So my friends, this was an explanation. And as you see, it's fully done by the teacher. Students are not there. It's kind of a lecture where students are listening to the teacher's information. Again, we're not saying that it is evil, but it can be evil. It can be really bad if you overdo it and if you use it in the wrong time. And we're going to talk about this towards the end of this episode. But what about guided discovery? Now, guided discovery is a very balanced way of presenting language. Why? Because guided discovery is guidance from the teacher and work from students. That's why I'm saying it's kind of balanced, because we call it guided. There is guidance from the teacher in the presentation process. And also it is interesting. It keeps the students on their toes. It involves them. Why? Because they're being asked all the time. They're not just listening, they're sharing in the presentation process. But one of the disadvantages is that it takes, of course, longer time than explanation. because it's an indirect way of teaching. However, guided discovery is great. And we love to see guided discovery when candidates on a course like CELTA and also in courses like TEFL and CERTESOL are presenting their language. It's lovely. And it shows the abilities of a good teacher. So let's go to a demo, but this time using guided discovery on the very same vocabulary items, talking about irritable and nervous. So switch off as teachers. Let's go. Now, my friends, I've got a friend of mine. Yesterday he was at the dentist's and he was really afraid. He was really afraid, and you know, and he felt really worried. You know how difficult it is to wait at the dentist, especially if someone is screaming inside. My God, right? So my friend was actually, oh yes, he was nervous. So when I say that my friend was nervous, was he afraid? Oh yes, he was afraid. Was he worried? Oh yes, probably. Is this a positive or negative adjective? Oh yes, good answer, that's a negative adjective. Fine. So listen carefully. Nervous. Now repeat. Yes. Very good. Now let's have a look at the word nervous. So look at how it is spelled. Now, my friends, where do you think should the stress go? Oh yes, exactly, it's here. And what kind of word do you think it is? Oh, good answer. Yes, that's an adjective. Right. Now let me tell you another story. I've got a friend of mine, you know, and the problem that he bought a mobile from an electronic shop. That was yesterday. When he went home, he discovered that the mobile was not working. And my friend, you know, I know his personality. He gets angry quickly, you know, and he can start making problems just like that. And I know it. So when he discovered that the mobile was not working, he got really angry because my friend is, there is an adjective for this in English. Anyone? Oh yes, irritable. Lovely. So when I say that my friend is irritable, does he get angry easily? Yes. Is this positive or negative? Oh yes, of course, negative. Good. Right, so listen carefully. Irritable. Repeat. Yes. Good. Lovely. So now, I want you to look at how we spell it. Look at this. And I want you to tell me, where should the stress go? Oh yes, good answer. Exactly, like this. Lovely. And what kind of word is it? Oh yes, good answer. Adjective. Yes. Lovely. So my friends, this was guided discovery. And as you saw, guided discovery is a kind of a question from the teacher, an answer from students, and it keeps going like that. Someone might say, Shadi, but what if the students didn't know? Give them the answer. You're not asking them because you think they know. You're just asking them to make them interested in what you're saying. That's it. So if they don't know, just give it to them. And don't elicit for more than 30 seconds. It will be too much if you exceed 30 seconds of elicitation. Right. Now it is time to come to self-directed discovery. Okay? Good. Lovely, my friends. And in self-directed discovery, it is actually the time when the teacher disappears. So in explanation, 100% the teacher is there. In guided discovery, 50% the teacher, 50% students. But in self-directed discovery, 100% students. And the teacher is not there. Now, so how is this? Let me give you an example. And again, I'll be teaching the very same two words, irritable and nervous. So switch off as teachers, your students now. Let me do this. So my friends, we've got two words here and two definitions. I want you to think about these two words and the definitions and match which is which. Take your time. Go on. Okay, so my friends, so which one is A? Yes, very good. That's a lovely answer. Which one is B? Lovely, exactly. Good, 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 my friends. Now, did I do anything as a teacher? No, students did. I just gave feedback. And in my feedback, I'll be using explanation if students are struggling with something. So again, in explanation, it's 100% the teacher. In guided discovery, 50% the teacher, 50% students. In self-directed discovery, 100% students. You're just a feedback giver. Now, no one can say that explanation is evil because you will need it when you give feedback. What if my students struggled with self-directed discovery? I would need to explain to them, and this one it will be direct. What if a student surprised me with a question about a language item I'm not prepared for? Like I don't have pictures for, I'm not ready with CCQs. I'll be using direct teaching, explanation. I will explain it quickly to them. What if guided discovery didn't work with the language items? You're teaching 5 language items and it didn't work with one of them. Then you need to resort to explanation. So explanation is not evil. You know, it's just evil when you overuse it, when it's the main thing, when it is what you do all the time and every time. So again, I hope I clarified the difference between these 3 styles of presenting language quickly. And again, I'll be, inshallah, delivering a video like this for grammar as well, and the difference between guided discovery, self-directed discovery, and explanation. And all 3 are for the sake of presenting language. Thank you so much, my friends. It was lovely talking to you, and bye-bye.